stuff like that.
More butterfree.
That's
really smooth though.
All they use is shit.
Like Green Beret type shit. It ain't that many of them, but when they go in there, they clear the whole house.
They got a movie of some gentlemen like that.
Yes.
What's the name of that movie?
What movie?
Where it wasn't that many of them. It was a small group of them. But everywhere they went, they were victorious in combat.
What's the name of that movie?
Yeah. Are you familiar with those people?
I know there's a group of people now, I think over in Pakistan or maybe somewhere like that, that they train hard in the Green Berets.
I'm talking about the Spartans, the 300.
Oh.
It was 300 trained assassins
Right.
that went against bigger armies, and they were so ruthless.
Like country type armies.
Yeah.
Not really that big. That's over exaggeration. Because 300 can never whoop 10,000. Let's think about that. The dynamics of that.
3,000 or something like
Well,
Now 3,000 is more likely.
3,000
But
handicaps they can.
huh?
that.
You said
Well, what happened was they went for a walk and other people joined them.
right.
Yeah, so that number was more, they said that number was more like.
Well, I actually could if you starve them out.
Yeah. I
Think
mean,
about it.
but
These people, it wasn't no starving them out. The individuals that they was going after, because a lot of the times they went into their territory and they strategically attacked them. Being that their numbers were so small, and by the time they say, hold on, something ain't right, assemble the army, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was the Persians, it was a large.
But they called them the immortals because of the fact that when one person died, another person took their place.
That's how deep they was.
Yes.
It's an old school saying, not getting on some gangbanging stuff, but they say Crips don't die, Crips multiply.
Oh, yeah.
You kill one, 10 raise up in his position. But everything originates from Africa.
They say that shit in colors. I see that.
Yeah, that's true. Everything originates from
I would
Africa.
agree.
If we talk about martial arts,
Yep.
There's
Africa.
wrestling in Africa.
Exactly.
Found them on the walls in Egypt.
in Egypt. Now, when you're talking about the four major M's, music, mathematician, medicine, meditation, and martial arts, now we're talking about the five M's. The people in Africa created and mastered those things. And then when they left Africa 70,000 years ago and migrated out, they took these traditions with them.
Right. That's how the other people learned it then. Because they took it with them. It's teaching them.
Was teaching them.
None of it is written down, and they can't really mark it.
Well, what you mean it's not written down, brother?
It's not written down.
What's not written down? Because this brother just concurred. He just agreed with me
I agree with
that
you, but none of
martial
it
arts
is
come
written
from
down.
Africa because they have it written on
Yeah,
the walls
right.
in
But that's
Egypt.
wrestling. That's a form of wrestling. That's
But
not
what
a
is
form of
now? Look, let's think about it, brother. Let's think about this. What is wrestling a part of?
Especially that Roman knuckle.
Actually, you're right. It's part of pancreas or something like that.
Wrestling is a martial art. Karate is a martial art. See, what we did, we didn't took the Asian version of martial arts and we associate all forms of martial art, hand-to-hand combat, but that's not that. Wrestling is a form of martial arts.
I'm not disagreeing you on wrestling.
They got something called MMA.
Yeah.
If a person knows how to box and he know how to do American standardized, no, just he know how to box,
Right.
and he knows American standard wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Is that not MMA? Is that not mixed martial arts?
Yes, that concept comes from Bruce Lee.
Okay, that concept comes from Bruce Lee, but the original form of martial arts come from where? It comes from Africa.
Thousands of years.
Thousands of years ago, the Homo sapiens, which they say we are, they migrated out of Africa 70,000 years ago. The individuals that we call the Native Americans that's here in America, they migrated here over the Bering Strait or the Bering Strait 35,000 years ago.
Yes, they have.
That's so fucked up how
But
they try to erase, everything that's...
They erased it, brother.
Look,
They ain't tried to, they did. That's why they say that the victor rewrites history. Whoever wins the war, you rewrite history. So you can write it however you choose to. But this is the thing about... Go ahead, brother.
They approve. Well, They said that they came from the Bering Straits, but they also said that they also, there's a potential that they hopped from coast to coast all the way down. Either way, they were here.
Can you expound upon that hop from coast to coast all the way down thing?
Okay, so basically they would say like this is the Bering Strait.
Okay.
So they would not go this way. They would actually go down the shoreline of it.
Right. Down the west coast.
Yes.
Starting at Alaska.
In a
Yes.
ship, right? In a ship.
Actually starting more like starting in Russia. And then going down.
Well, that did used to be Russia. That part that we call Alaska at one point in time, that was Russian territory.
Yes.
But this is before Russia.
Yeah.
It wasn't no
Yeah.
Russia. They
So,
called it Siberia.
Absolutely.
But this even go before Siberia.
Siberia.
Right.
But they said the water, and we'll never find proof of it outright because the water levels were lower back then.
I totally disagree with that.
They were lower. The water levels back
I
then.
don't disagree with the water levels being low because we know that especially within the last 10 to 20 years, the ice, that's why it's 80 degrees outside right now, global warming. You understand what I'm saying? But people did cross that land bridge that they call the Bering Strait.
Right.
They walked over there.
Yeah.
And the individuals that walked over there was originally from a place called Serbia. They looked at, well, they were Asians.
Yeah.
So when you go to Alaska and you go to certain parts of Canada, the Inuit peoples that we call Eskimos, what do they look like?
With the squinted eyes and all that kind of
They
shit.
look like who? Who they look
Asian
like?
people.
They look like Asian people.
Yeah, they do.
So when you take those Inuit peoples, the ones that we call Eskimos, and they migrate into the continental U.S. where we are now,
Right.
and then due to climate change, a different in diet, so on and so forth, they begin to look like what? What do their descendants look like? Native Americans.
Yeah.
And then when they migrate south, go further and further, the body begins to mutate more to where they all have now these distinguished characteristics and features.
Absolutely.
But let me tell you this.
Darker and everything. Yeah.
No. I disagree with that one.
You talking about the southern ones?
And this is why I disagree with them, because you got to also understand that before they came over here 35,000 years ago, it was already black people here.
There you go.
We migrated. They call us Homo sapiens sapiens. Would you agree or disagree?
Yeah, I heard about that.
I don't know anything about it. I'll be honest. I know.
We're not the original Homo sapiens. They call us Homo sapiens sapiens.
I know that there's like, it's like 5 races, even potentially more.
They said it's originally 3 races. 3. You got the Negroids, that's us, the original man. You got the Mongoloids, that's the Asians, and then you got the third race, which is the Caucasoid, which is the Caucasians.
Well, which one was the caveman part? Because they were a part of that group.
Cavemen were Neanderthals.
Yeah, okay. That's.
But initially, they said that we were Neanderthals. They say we were Neanderthals, we were stupid, we were barbarians, we was barbaric.
That was the Caucasian.
Now it's been proven, but now it's been scientifically proven that the Caucasians was actually the Neanderthals. Now they're saying the Neanderthals was intelligent, they used weapons, they used this, they used that. They had to change that narrative to make us feel inferior.
Exactly.
Plus, they dated them back further.
Neanderthals?
Yeah. They dated them back further than they thought. And they think that actually they mixed with humans. Well, with the Homo sapien race, like, could have potentially had children together and stuff like that. The DNA could be mixed.
I mean, that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Because everywhere we went, we conquered not through force, not through violence. You name me an African nation or a melanated carbonated nation that went around the world conquering by the sword.
None.
We use knowledge, wisdom, and education.
Not even the richest person in the world. When he went on
Mansa Musa.
he didn't.
And what did he do?
Give out gold.
He gave out gold.
And salt.
He taught about money. He taught about things on the other side of the world. Right.
Well,
And
also,
people.
you got the kingdom of Kush that's in Africa, Ethiopia.
Mhm.
Kush. They have.
Who did they colonize?
Interaction with the Egyptians.
But who did they subjugate?
The Egyptians.
The kingdom of Kush
Yes.
subjugated.
Another African place?
They're Africans. They're actually Ethiopians, but at one point they conquered Egypt.
What? Okay.
Egypt black people too.
They all, you feel me? Until they were invaded by the Persian army or the Assyrians, the Middle Easterners, and they began to, all that.
But they were actually black, and they said they were the kingdom of Kush. There was more than one kingdom out there, though. But
there was many kingdoms, but they really referred to them as dynasties.
They don't have them because they're all gone, and there's no evidence of them.
What you mean? There's no evidence of it, brother?
It's not a lot of evidence. Well, okay, let me say it like this.
They're not telling us a lot of evidence.
Well,
if you go to Africa, you gonna see the evidence.
They're gonna blow our mind.
Come on, man. You going to
can't
these.
believe what they tell us all the time.
No, well, that's not what I'm saying. Like even the kingdom of Kush was raided by the white people. They went in there and they blew up some of the temples.
Burned a lot of the books, papyrus.
What Americans did anyway, still.
What Americans still do today, yeah.
So that's why we don't have as much as we have, because of the fact that
I disagree.
They're not teaching us.
I disagree. It cannot tell you why I disagree. Fuck what they teach us. We ain't never been the type of people that went to other people to be educated. It's something called autodidactics. We are self-taught. We have always taught ourselves. And back in the days, we always wrote our story in pretense, not in past tense. Most of the prophets in the Bible was what? Melanated, carbonated people. They looked like you and I. When you get to a black woman, she has the strongest intuition out of anybody on the face of this earth. When she tell you don't go outside and you take your ass outside and you get shot and you go to jail or you lose your wallet. She told you. Your mama told you, don't mess with that girl. She hightailed. You mess with the girl, now she done broke your heart or disrespected you or introduced you to something that ain't for you.
But she already told you that.
Because she felt it in the spirit. Now watch this. Everything that and this has been scientifically proven, everything that your dad went through, if you was able to master yourself, you can remember everything he went through when you was still in his body before he ejaculated you into your mother.
I never knew that bitch ass nigga though, but anyways,
but he's still a part of you.
Exactly.
Well, here's the thing that is.
You absolutely right.
And they're fighting about it, and they won't really discuss it. At one point, Jesus is in Egypt.
Here?
Yeah.
Egypt.
Okay.
You can't hide Egypt if your ass is
white.
There you go.
Okay, now take it a step further for us. Take it a little step further.
To this day, you can't hide.
Who else did they hide in Egypt? Come on, you know the story, brother. You just told us about Yeshua. Moses, did not Moses get hid in Egypt?
They got stuff to do.
Listen, Moses' auntie or Moses' mother put him in a basket, right?
Yeah.
Put him in the river.
Yeah.
And the individuals who took him out of that, put him in the Nile. Yeah. And the individuals who got him out was Egyptian. And they camouflaged him as being Egyptian, as being one of them. And around that time, the Egyptians was what? Black.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if the Egyptians was black around that time, that means that the Israelites was what?
Black.
Come on now, man.
I'm gonna say it like this, though.
Brown skin, rope like hair.
Curly hair. That's us.
They don't talk about
but you know what they tell us now? They say, oh, color don't matter. All that matters is relation. No, if color didn't matter, then why did you paint everybody white?
Yeah,
that's bullshit. But then you know what they don't talk about is when the Egyptians left Egypt, they were running around sacking and looting.
The Egyptians?
Not the Egyptians, I'm sorry.
The Israelites.
The Israelites. They were running around sacking and looting.
Where you get that from?
It's all in history.
But if you got a people who have nothing,
they were starving.
They had to survive.
They were starving.
I'm not disagreeing with that. But what I'm saying is, if you're going to talk about them being enslaved and doing this and that, talk about the other part of it.
I kind of disagree with that narrative, though. Because if God said, I provide for you, and God gave them water, and God gave them unlimited bread, why would you need to go and stack and loot? Now you've been in direct opposition to the Most High God.
Greed. Yeah.
They
Greed.
And they also had the Ark of the Covenant with them as well.
What was that for? The earth, like minerals, earth, gold, all that bullshit?
No, they were stacking and looting other kingdoms.
For what, though? It wasn't talking to people, right?
I'm not for sure about that, brother.
Right.
Especially now you kind of have me on a fence, and I'm like, well, if I'm not mistaken, when I read the Bible, they were stealing amongst themselves. And it was like, but we don't have anything to eat. We don't have this. And Moses went and had a conversation with God and said, when you go out in the morning, there'll be bread and food. Come on, man.
This is not in the Bible. This is actually the records written. This is actually archaeology.
Oh, hell no.
No.
Wait, we can't dispel archaeology because
Written by who though?
Written by the people that found the kingdom that they lived in.
okay, now watch this. When we came out of slavery, right? Us, that's
It was
here.
written by them.
How many kingdoms did we loot? How many of the kingdoms did we come up against? We didn't have shit. We didn't even have weapons. We didn't even have an identity. So how could the Israelites come out of captivity and don't have nothing? They ain't have nothing.
They did.
All they had was God and each other.
Actually, we don't know what they had.
If they had some, they would have fought Pharaoh and overtook his kingdom.
Not necessarily. Egypt is pretty big. You're just a small group of people.
So the same small group of people that's not trained in war, that doesn't have advanced technology of that era, you mean to tell me that they were sacking, looting kingdoms that was already established? They cannot do that.
Makes sense, yeah.
It don't make sense.
You think the big armies. They were sacking and looting most likely small villages.
He said kingdoms, did he not?
Yeah.
Yes, I
Now,
did.
small villages, I can understand that, but kingdoms, no. The only time that we see in the Bible where they actually went and took a land is when Caleb and Joseph had to go scout the land of the giants.
Yeah.
The first scouts came back and said, man, there's big ass giants over there. There's good food and all that, but it's giants. We can't do it. And Caleb said, shit, where they at? Watch this.
But
And that's how we move when we move under the leadership of the Most High God and we move together.
with that said, though,
That's why they scared of the united defense instead of the separation.
That's all I'm saying.
with that though, you see, even if I put it like this, a small city, which they probably could take, could be considered a kingdom.
No,
We don't know that.
no, we do know that.
No, we don't know.
There's certain qualifications that you have to meet to be called a kingdom.
Qualifications now, but back
No,
then,
no.
Why not?
There
Why
was
not?
tribes.
Why not?
You have to have a certain amount of tribes in order to be considered a nation. You have to have a certain amount of nations in order to be considered a kingdom.
Big as fuck.
They conquered each other all the time back then.
Brother.
They conquered each
I say maybe they ran into a little village or something.
Villages, most
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Because when Moses left, after he had smited, after he had unalived the Egyptian that was taking advantage of the Hebrew, the Israelite. Remember, he had left. And when he left, he went to a small village. Where a dude offered him his daughter or something like that. I'm not too for sure, but I think that I'm accurate. Here, take my daughter. She's never been touched. This, that, and third. And that's where he got his wife from.
Yeah. But either way, they did run around and they did fuck with other people. They had the Ark of the Covenant with them.
If they did, were they not directed? And was they not acting under the tutelage or the leadership of the Most High God? Because God sent them on war paths and said, wait, hold on now.
So you basically saying the Israelites who did some evil shit, basically.
That's what it seemed like.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I put it like this. They're not as innocent as people portray them to
I mean, how we know that though?
They're not as innocent as people. There were Jewish uprisings in Rome.
You can't say Jewish because we're not talking about the Jewish. The Jewish peoples is a whole different people, a whole different lineage.
I thought they were the same.
You got Jews, which they call Hebrews,
Absolutely.
the original Israelites, and then you got Jewish. If I tell you this
The
is
Jewish is the lighter skinned ones, right? No,
lighter skinned one, if I tell you that this is a gold chain, what is it?
It's a gold chain.
Okay, but if I tell you it's gold dish, what does that mean?
Means it's part gold.
Or maybe kinda, but not really.
That's
You know what I mean?
That's the Jewish separation.
That's the Jewish.
Yeah.
It's similar to. It's made in a likeness of it.
The Israelites is basically
The original Hebrews, the original Jews.
Were they around at the time of the Romans?
The Jewish came around that time, but a little later. We talking about the Ashkenazi Jews and whatnot, Jewish people.
there have been records of Romans having problems, I mean serious problems, with the Jewish people.
Which ones? The Israelites?
Are you talking about the
They were
Jews?
doing like uprisings and shit like that.
That was the
But
Hebrews.
that was because Rome also at that time was kind of fucked up.
We're talking about the Hebrews.
Right.
Yeshua, who's of the bloodline of Hebrews, right? Yeshua is Jesus.
Yeah.
Pilate said to
That's a
them,
different name, yeah.
Pilate was a high-ranking individual in the Roman Empire. Would you agree or disagree? Pontius Pilate, right? Was he not part of the Roman Empire?
Yes.
Even in the Bible, I believe it was Jesus said, render unto Caesar, Julius Caesar, what is Caesar's, and unto God, what is God. So the Hebrews that look like us were still in existence around this time, while
But
other
you can't use the Bible to validate history.
but you doing it.
No, I'm not. No. You can't use the Bible to validate history.
Okay, see,
What you can do for the Bible, this is what you can do for the Bible.
Ain't it part of history though?
it is a part of history. It's a part of Black history.
It's
That one lie.
it's gray. Because okay, you can say the Egyptians in the Bible and then go find Egypt. But you can't say everything that they did is a true version of the Bible. Because it was written hundreds of years after this by a white guy.
Hey, listen. The Bible is a compass to direct you to what your spirituality is going to be. It's a compass.
Yeah.
It's a foundation. We can use the Bible to get a time frame. We can use the Bible to get a better understanding, but that isn't where you stop at. It's not the where all end all.
Deeper research.
You got to do deeper research.
I don't even know if you can use it as a time frame. You can more like use it to pinpoint a place would be the more accurate.
Around what time was Jesus here? We know that we can narrow it down to the Roman Empire because he talks about Julius Caesar.
Look, Caesar was a beast. No matter what people say, he
Fucking
was,
killer, bro.
he was a stone cold killer. Caesar didn't care who the fuck you were. He killed you. You got the way he killed you.
But you can't name a person who led or presided over an empire who didn't do the same thing.
Yeah, all of it. To this day, man.
America do it.
All the time. Going to other countries, getting their minerals, they go, kill off the people, kill their kids.
Yeah, you're right.
That's how you establish an empire.
Until they ran into Vietnam or Afghanistan.
They got their ass whooped, but they never lost their power.
Exactly.
Yeah.
On paperwork, they won.
Yeah.
Because we are collateral.
Exactly.
So what you gonna do? Kill 1 million Americans? We ain't worried about that. We trying to win you on paperwork. We want those resources. We want the outcome. So if we got to sacrifice 1 million people to solidify our position of power, we don't mind.
No, you're right.
We're all expendable. Anytime the king, because it's a king now, but
Yeah.
anytime, you know what I mean, the crown go to war, how we find ourselves in a war?
Exactly.
Because we're poor.
Nope, it ain't just because we poor.
Yeah.
It's because we are not a country or a corporation.
Exactly.
And the individual who really presides over this corporation and runs this corporation is the crown.
Yeah.
We had liberated ourselves in 1776. Then in 1876, after we lost all our resources because we went to that civil war,
Yeah.
motherfuckers was burning cotton. Cotton was one of our biggest, one of their biggest resources.
Yeah.
When they started burning it down and they separated and all that, they was broke.
Absolutely.
And that's when the crown.
We were talking about that too before you came in.
Hello?
Basically, we lost our energy, in a way of speaking, because we knew how they said what it is and that and the other.
You're talking about Americans or you talking about our people?
I'm talking about America. Well,
Okay.
I'm talking about American lives.
Okay.
To be specific. They were considered second class, third, this and that.
Right.
So we all united. That was the fight. But once they said, okay, we don't care about that anymore. The only thing we care about is the money you got in your pocket. We kind of sort of split apart and are not unified.
The American dream was our people nightmare.
It pretty much.
Integration killed us. Martin Luther King should have never preached at that time. He was never supposed to preach at that time integration. We wasn't ready to integrate. We integrated too soon. And when we integrated too soon, now people don't want to come to your barbecue shop. They want to go to this one across the town where the white folks is at because they said it has prestige to it. It was something that we can enjoy before, so now we going over there.
I agree.
No, I'm gonna go to your hotel. And we gonna spend so much money with your hotel that you ain't got no choice but to open up another one across town. Now you're hiring more black folks. Now you're giving jobs to your own people. Now we got our own economy, and we don't have to depend on welfare and all that shit that they are introduced to us later to take the man out of the household.
What y'all talking about?
We're talking about integration and segregation.
One of the worst things ever doing.
It's the truth.
Jonestown, we used to own our own shit.
Right.
You know, they burnt it down.
Right.
And the list goes on and on.
On and on.
Martin Luther King, before he got killed,
And,
he
actually,
admitted it. He let our people
Into a burning house, but it was too late.
you know what?
It's too
It was
Actually,
too late.
It was too late.
the one that gets me, and I didn't know about it until a few years ago, was Black Wall Street.
Oh yeah.
Jonestown in the
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Florida, the city they burnt down.
What about Allensville? Allensville, California.
That close.
Yeah.
You know?
Right above Bakersfield. They had an agricultural community.
Yep.
Their grapes was 2 times bigger than the white folks' grapes.
Yep.
Their corn was sweeter. Everything that they was doing, it outweighed the competition.
Exactly.
So you know what they did? They poisoned the water supply.
Mm-hmm. Just like
That
they
what-
killed the Indians when they killed off the buffalo and starved them.
What Indians? What Indians?
Well,
What Indians?
Us. They
Us.
started
Put it like this.
They started to kill the buffalo off the starve us. Put it
Listen,
They pushed them from the East Coast down to the West Coast. And then they fucking
Sorry.
now we got to be specific when we're talking about this.
Yes, that is,
Buffalo soldier,
Yeah.
yeah.
dread like Rasta,
I'll put it like this.
born in America. Hey, you know what we was talking about, right? The Buffalo Soldiers, we know they was black.
You damn right.
But they was sending these Buffalo Soldiers to go to these black tribes to befriend them, to go back to the white man and say them niggas is over there. It wasn't these Asiatic, it wasn't these Mongoloid Native Americans, it's our people.
Right.
It was people that look like you and I.
Absolutely.
And how I know this is true, my great grandmother was born on an Indian reservation in Oklahoma. Word is bond. Whatever their language was, she spoke it, but she never passed it down to the next generation. My great grandmother was Choctaw Indian. And when you do research on my family, it goes all the way back to Indian territory, Oklahoma.
You're damn right.
That was
1800s is when they start taking our identity. You know why they start calling us blacks and not Native American and Indian like they call them? Because if we call you that, that means that you're indigenous to this land. And if you are, that's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah. That same is what the fucking cow milk. Reason why they started giving us cow milk because they would have had to pay the women for the milk.
look. I'm
So
gonna
they
put it
broke
like
it down, giving
this.
some fucking animal milk.
Right. That's heavy. I never heard that, but I'm not doubting it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it like this. What they did with the Native American, what they did is wrong in the sense that they took a whole generation. They took those kids. They just took them up and they put them in boarding school. When they did that, those kids learned our history, the ones that we taught now in school.
Right.
They didn't learn the stuff from their grandmother, their mother, and stuff like that. That's wrong. That's wrong.
Right.
There's no two ways about it. But that's what they did. And that's why the Native Americans, well, I'm calling Native Americans, had part of the problem they have today because their identity for a whole generation, which trickles down, was fucking erased.
That's something that I gotta,
Oh.
because the Indian tribes whose identity was erased was us.
Yeah.
Even if I
We
show
raised
you,
out the Indians.
I understand
they
what you're saying.
they
Yeah.
reclassified it as being Negro.
Exactly.
No, we are native here. If you look at the chief of the Choctaw Nation, he's the white guy. He's a 5 cent, what they call a 5 cent or a $5 Indian. Where they was going and saying, listen, since the Negroes, since the people that you're classifying as Negroes now, since they can't be classified as that, I want to pay you this to put me on a dog's roll so it give me direct connection to the land. You got white folks saying that they're native and they just as white as Adolf Hitler.
Exactly.
They just as white as Julius Caesar.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. I
Huh?
would agree with that. I've seen that. I agree with it. I've seen it.
All right.
But I know for a fact, we don't want, I'm telling you right there, what they did with the natives, we don't want that because the fact it's a terrible thing.
Don't want
What?
the land?
What is he
Not
talking
the
about?
land. I'm talking, well,
The alcoholism?
They talk about 48 to you. They also talk
Who don't
about,
want that?
what the fuck am I doing with you?
What?
It's a tractor now.
Yeah.
It's a tractor now.
It's the whole, okay,
When
they
they try
have,
to break, it ain't
they have
no
what
good.
they call,
Rulers can breathe.
they have what they call the Bureau of Indian Affairs, it's called BIA.
Right.
That is, I'm telling you, I work there now.
Mm-hmm.
They manage all the Indian affairs. The Indians are fighting among themselves. The ones, let me put it like this.
On the reservation,
The ones that are,
70% on alcohol.
well, the ones in the lower 48 are, if they don't own the casinos or something like that,
They're in severe poverty.
there's
Yeah,
a big problem.
80% on this.
But,
We know
no, but check this out. The ones that are in Alaska, because they had Indian tribes up there,
that.
they're rolling it. Because of the fact they went out with their money collectively and said, okay, we're opening
The
up
money that they got from the government.
But
Right.
still,
Right,
they
ain't shit that they did on their own. I mean,
Right.
we still, hey, you
Yeah,
still parlay it.
but we can still do the same.
We want it. What they did for them, give us ours.
Yeah, no, that-
Because we're not them.
We're not organized.
Man, you can, we do just like we did Jones on them, man. They want us to believe that shit, bro.
They want us to
No, we
believe
don't
that
want us
shit,
to-
right?
If we
If
was
they-
really
if-
fighting each other, ain't no way in fuck it wouldn't be more murderers. If we was
Mm.
really
That's what I'm
fighting each
saying,
other.
but we don't need the money from them to do what we need to do. We can generate the
Yeah, we
money
do.
in the, no, we don't. We can generate the money.
We don't own nothing in the community.
He got a strong point.
Yeah, but
Our biggest asset is what? What we call African Americans. What's our biggest asset?
Us.
Us. Our unity.
yeah.
So if we go back to I support your business, you support his business, he support mine. If we can get back to that type of
Right.
recycling of our money, within 2 years, everybody be a multimillionaire. So we don't need their money, but their money can really help.
But the problem is we own less than 1% or something.
But if we recycle the black dollar more, the Jewish population is smaller than our population, but they control damn near 75% of the shit that's going on.
You know what it is?
And that's about to change because of the
I-
fact
I-
that
I-
we old.
I just made
They're
a shirt.
getting old, the Jews.
The ones that have the power. If they don't have anybody to give it, that's why they're
They
trying
got
to change
somebody
the
to give
inheritance
it.
law.
Most definitely they
They're
do.
trying to change the
No, no, it
inheritance
ain't
law.
gonna never end until we act. You know what war stands for? We are ready. Until we reach that point,
I like that.
you know what I'm saying? We just pray and preach and suffer.
I'm tired of praying and preaching.
Exactly.
That shit ain't never got us nowhere.
Exactly.
See, our people
What do soldiers do? They march for war, right?
Right.
What do black people do? We
March.
We march just to talk, right?
We want what's here and now. We don't think 3 steps, 4 steps ahead.
And I was just talking about that.
Yeah.
Other nations, other ethnic groups, they plan their goals and for their generation 50 years out. They have a 50-year plan. We don't.
But they keep you in line though. You know
Right,
what I'm saying?
most definitely.
We're not in line. That's
Right.
what it is.
But why are we not in line,
Yeah.
brother?
I don't know. But I
The
tell you,
meddling of Caucasians in our day-to-day affairs.
but I tell you this much. We
Oh, no,
are
this is
important
good.
because of the fact that they wouldn't support the black vote. If we weren't important, they wouldn't be worried about that 1%. That we are important. You know, like I said, we're important. It's
I know
just-
we're important. That's why they don't want us to leave America.
No,
That's why they don't want us to go over there and fuck with them Africans.
I don't want to fuck with them. That's a whole different other argument.
Oh, come on,
That's a
brother.
whole different other argument.
Oh,
That's a
come on,
different
brother.
argument.
You say a referral?
That's heavy. Hey, listen, man. You say you like this shirt, right?
You say a referral?
Yeah.
You want this shirt?
I'm not taking sure I'll be back.
Oh, no, nigga, I ain't gonna give it to you off my back. I was gonna take it on, wash it, and bring it to you tomorrow.
How about you give me one now?
You know what? I appreciate it, but I'm gonna say no.
All right, for sure. For sure.
Because I gotta do for me.
You gotta do for you.
Gotta do for me.
I can dig that.
You know.
I can dig that. I honor that, and I respect that. Hey, what's going on, brother? Oh man, it's all love.
But yeah, that's the biggest problem. Because Africa's a whole different other argument. And it starts with white, but it is a whole different other argument.
Right.
Like, for example, in the early 1900s,
Mm-hmm.
white people got together and they decided to divide Africa up among themselves. I'm talking about the resources.
Yeah, that's true. They did the same thing in America. That's why the Spanish owned this part, the English owned this, the Portuguese owned that, and the other people owned that. Like they did the same thing here.
But in Africa, it's worse.
Right.
Now, when you do that, then you put warring tribes together. That's when you got a problem because the warring tribes are actually too busy fighting themselves to actually worry about what the white people are mining the resources.
Right.
That's why Africa's a whole different. And then down the road,